Steve Liesman's I'll bring him in here with a closer look at the crash in crude and what it's going to mean for the overall economy. Morning, Steve.
Morning, Sarah. Yeah, prices are back a bit, but the overall decline in oil prices is going to be felt far and wide in the U.S. economy, both nationally and specifically at the state level, where the states are the biggest, within the biggest oil-producing states. We produce so much oil now that it's not clear, like it once was, that low oil prices are a net positive for the U.S. economy. Now, we've seen big swings in oil prices before, back in 98, when I was an oil reporter for the Wall Street Journal. It hit $10, but never when the U.S. was the world's largest producer, now at around 12 million barrels a day. Of all the industries affected here, it's hardest to think about oil production going back to where it was once this crisis passes, and that's going to have implications for the return to the growth level. Nationally, the industry has been a major source of capital spending for the whole economy. Selectively in states, it's a big source of jobs, investment, and tax revenues. Taking a look, the biggest producer by state, Texas, obviously. Maybe the least worrisome, though, because that has the most diverse economy. Some of the other states, North Dakota, Oklahoma, perhaps Alaska, are the ones that might be hit the hardest, especially when it comes to jobs and revenue. If you look at the jobs picture there, Texas again leading. California also with a big presence when it comes to oil jobs. Louisiana, and the new one there, well, not that new now, but it was new back then, Pennsylvania. So two deflationary impulses come from this, one from lower prices, the other from lost jobs and lost spending power and declining capex. HFE says the energy industry is facing tough times ahead. We're likely to see a wave of bankruptcies in the sector along with job losses. Now, President Trump has talked about helping the oil business. Federal Reserve might be able to step in some way as well here. Question is whether it makes sense long term in the future, where the U.S. has relatively expensive oil, for it to remain the largest producer. Choice may be, Sarah, between a smaller industry or even, dare I say, I don't think we ever would have said this 10 years ago, some form of more permanent cooperation between OPEC and Russia and the United States.
That's what I was going to ask you. With the president, expressing so much support for the U.S. oil industry, saying he directed the Treasury and the Energy Department to do something about it. I'm wondering what he can possibly do about it, if anything.
So, Sarah, I'm old enough to have pumped gas in two oil price surges in the 70s. And the idea that the president would have taken any action to actually raise the price of oil might have launched impeachment proceedings right then and there. It shows you how much the politics have changed, how much the economics have changed, that the president is even talking about this. I have no idea how far he'll go. He did boast about making an agreement between Saudi Arabia and Russia to raise the oil price, which he couched in terms of saving the U.S. oil industry. Look, it's something worth saving, but the change in the general sense of oil prices being good or bad for the U.S. economy is as dramatic as I can ever remember.